Shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
Dogs are better than cats. Hey guys, so I want to talk about a new sport, something that involves running, but to a different degree. You've probably never heard of it unless you live in the UK. It's called Canicross. Alright, so basically this is what Canicross is, okay? Think of the name, Canicross. So canine, cross country, Canicross. But there's another element, and that is that the dog is strapped to a person. So you have the person who's running with a belt or whatever, yeah, like a belt, and then it has a clip, and then that clip attaches to a running line, like some kind of bungee elastic leash which clips onto a dog harness. So essentially the most efficient way is you train the dog well enough, and you have a dog breed that's groomed for that kind of running, where they run cross country, and the dog pulls the human runner, and they're able to kind of work together to get across the course as quick as possible. And the reason that this is so fascinating is that this is different than just going out and walking your dog. This is on a different level. The dog pulls the human, and there's commands they shout out, and there's a guy, Ben Robinson, in the UK who did a park run 5K recently. I know park runs are not, USATF certified or anything, but he reportedly broke Bekele's 5K world record in this 5K. I think a 12:30. What was it, 12:30 something? Or it was ridiculous. And even if the course wasn't dead on, he still ran an amazingly fast time. And the guy has a 14:59 PR, something like that. So he's a fast runner, but he ran, over 2 minutes faster with the dog attached. So obviously, the dog helped him. But it was just, I had to read more. After that, I was looking into it, and apparently there's like world championships and nationals, and there's a lot of races in Canada too. But it's really fascinating, especially if you're a dog lover already like I am. I'm like, man, now I really want a dog just for this. I'm borrowing my friend's dog, who's a crazy, out of control, like 1 or 2 year old, maybe like a 2-year-old. I don't know what kind of dog, but medium-sized dog, very fast. I was like, hey, can I run with your dog on Sunday? And then they responded with, yeah, on Sunday we're free. And I'm like, thinking to myself, what does that mean? Sunday we're free. I don't want to hang out with you guys. I want to run with your dog. Just kidding. But seriously, I was like, what does that mean? So they're bringing the dog to my other friend's house where we're meeting, because it's by the beach, like a good place to run. So I don't know if they're there as babysitters because they're really protective of their dog, or what. It's weird. I feel like a dad who has partial custody, but it has to be with supervised visits only. Oh, thank you. They're not? You see commercials of Under Armour, it's always like a football player, doing drills.
Are those ones?
Asics?
Well, Asics are Asics, but they don't look like running shoes.
I just got, the ones I was wearing too, the gray ones. They're really...
Let's fall. Come on. Let's fall, Alex. Come on. All right, she's got it. She's got it going. I think she likes following your bike. Come on, Come on, you like to run, right? What are you doing?
Hey, come on!
Come here. Come on, boy. Come on, girl. Woo.
Yeah, why not?
Woo.
You go ahead if you want.
I will only stay by your side.
Pretty good at running by my side.
That's cool.
Alright, gonna go straight or left?
Yeah, straight. That's it.
Yeah, there we go. Some off-road action. Oh. There we go.
Come on, girl. Come on, keep up. Oh,
You okay?
ow.
Shit, dude.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm good.
Experimental run of Canicross, and it didn't go well. First of all, the cameraman wiped out on the bike. I feel really bad. The bike just locked up. It was a piece of crap bike. Then I felt like my setup was pretty good with the leash and the harnesses and everything, but we weren't communicating very well. Like, the dog was afraid of me. It didn't understand who I was. I think I've only met the dog like twice briefly. Didn't really know me well enough to trust me. So we'd be running and it would just decide to go a different direction or try to go home to see its owners. And sometimes it would get into full speed and then I would have to pick it up to match the dog's pace, and it'd be pulling me along a little bit for a few seconds. I'm like, oh, this is great. But then it would hear my footsteps and get intimidated and just stop and quiver, turn around and quiver right in front of me, and I'd have to, like, you know, jump over the dog like and stop on a dime. So it's definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be. So I'm researching all these breeds of dogs, like, oh, which dog is the best, right? And there's a lot of different choices, okay? Apparently, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, which I'll post a video in the description, I think this is the same kind of dog. It's outrunning a peloton of pro cyclists. It's just chasing after the motorcycle. It's ridiculous. But Rhodesian Ridgebacks are really strong dogs. They're kind of built, I don't know, they're strong, kind of like pit bulls. They're really strong. They're kind of aggressive though. So you got to consider, if you have a dog, or you want to get a dog for doing Canicross, which I kind of considered for a moment. You got to pick something that you can also have as a pet. Ridgebacks are a little bit aggressive, I read. Then you have Huskies, which are the obvious choice to some people because they do, you know, the Alaskan sled races. So they have a lot of endurance. The issue with Huskies is they're very hairy. So they're good in cold climates, but if it's really hot, you know, they're not really good in that kind of weather. So you have to be careful. You might think, well, Greyhounds are the fastest dogs. I think they can top out at 43 miles an hour. So why don't you just get a Greyhound? The problem with Greyhounds are, yes, they're great runners, but they don't have a lot of padding on their feet. So like Greyhound tracks are on dirt. So they wouldn't be necessarily good for running long distances, especially on hard surfaces. I mean, this is analytical shit. I mean, this is complicated, you know? Then you have, I feel like pit bulls would be, yeah, you might be able to win races, but pit bulls would be really aggressive. They might attack other, you know, opponents. You might get disqualified. There's Australian cattle dogs, which are good in the heat. Foxhounds, good at hunting, you know. Dalmatians, supposedly are really fast dogs, but I feel like they bark a lot. At least the one in the Truman Show, they barked too much. And then Salukis, which are like Greyhounds, but they have more foot padding, so they could run longer distances. And but the problem, okay, you got to think, you want a dog that's fast, but you have to have a strong dog too. So some of these dogs that they're really fast on their own, but can they pull you along? Because essentially that's what it comes down to, is not the speed of the person, it's the speed of the dog plus the person. So you have to have not only the right combination of training and chemistry, you also have to have a dog that will respond to you and kind of have a blend of speed, endurance, intelligence to follow the path and know what's going on, focus, not to get distracted by other dogs and other squirrels or other things going on, and be able to pull you essentially.